In today's video, part 2 of how to prepare on the day of your exam. Hello, Michael here at Making Music, and today it's the second part of our two-parter about how to prepare on the day of your exam. If you haven't seen the first video, please go and check that out first, because the first video talked all about what to do from the beginning of the day all the way to the getting to the door of your exam, and now we're going to go through the door and tell you what you need to do to prepare on in your exam. As always, before we get into it, as you know, there's a million ways to play music and a million ways to go about it. My advice is based on my education, bachelor's degree Trinity, master's degree Royal College, and I've been teaching and playing professionally for over 20 years. If you find something you like, great. If you don't, hey, that's okay too. Whatever you do, please let me know your thoughts, leave me a comment, like the video, and even better if you would subscribe. So let's get into it. So last time we talked about everything you need to do before the actual getting to the door of the exam, whether it be, getting a list together of all the things you might need for the exam, making sure you're nice and early, or we even talked about things like what to eat on the day, not being too full, not being too starving. That makes sense. And all sorts of other things I hope you found useful in that first video. But like I said, today it's all about going through the door and what you should be preparing when you're in there. It sounds a bit funny. Surely you've done all the preparation before the exam, before getting to it, if that makes sense. But no, there's a few things you can do to prepare. Some of it's a little bit, a little bit loose on the prepared part of it. But yes, there's definitely things we can do to prepare in the room itself. So, you are there at the door, ready to go in. What's the first thing you should do? Prepare to smile. Not grin, no, smile. Okay, why am I saying that? Well, because it puts you in a good frame of mind. Studies have shown that people who smile more tend to be happier, tend to be more relaxed, calmer, and perform better. I'm not a scientist, so please take it with a pinch of salt if you wish, but I'm pretty sure I know you can find studies out there that have said this. I found it always works just by smiling. Like I said, not grinning, not like my 5-year-old when I ask her to smile, she does this. No, not like that. Of course, just a small, calm smile. Something like, I hate modeling smiles, you just look ridiculous. But yeah, it doesn't have to be more than, you get the idea, right? Even if you're just smiling to yourself, or you think of a little joke or something, or think of something silly that your dog was doing earlier, can you bring a little smile to your face. Okay, so prepare to smile. Now, we're going through the door. What do you need to do next? Prepare to make a good impression. What? Yes, prepare to make a good impression. Right, when does your performance actually start? From the first note, of course, Michael. No, your performance starts the minute or the second that you step on stage. If you're doing a recital, a concert, the absolute millisecond that you're on stage, that you are visible to people, is the start of your performance. As soon as you get on, people are judging you. Okay, so you want to make a good impression. And we'll talk about a few different things I think you should consider. Just to put it this way, I'm going to give you an example of a bit of an experiment that I heard of. I think one of my friends told me about. I think he was actually involved in it. Basically, they went to a school, but before they arrived, there was a bit of buzz about it. I think there was some pretend journalist TV cameras and things like that there. So yeah, the next big boy band are coming to perform at the school. They want to show you their new material. So everyone got really excited about this. Oh my God, it's the next big thing, next big boy band are coming to the school. And they turned up in a big limousine, all got out looking, really cool and groovy, just like any boy band would. And the school was going absolutely nuts. There's the next boy band here. Oh, that's amazing. And what did they do that? They went inside, they went to warm up went to the stage, and the curtains are closed. The audience are ready. All the anticipation. Are you ready for the next boy band? Boyzone? No, that actually was a boy band. Boys Are Us, whatever. That was a fictitious name they came up with. And everyone cheers and goes, well, yes, yes. I'll give a big welcome, and here they are. And the curtain opens, and the same people that got out of the limousine are sitting there as a string quartet and piano. So we call that a piano quintet, I think is the right term for it. And they start playing Mozart and other classical pieces. And of course, everyone's like going, what just happened here? Right, so I ask you, when did that performance actually start? It actually started before they even arrived, because it was all staged, okay? But I'm just trying to say that impressions count. People will make up their mind about your performance the instant that you step on that stage, okay? Now the examiner will hopefully be a little bit more professional about it, but you want to try and make a good impression, okay? So there's a few things I think you should consider. First and foremost, the way you walk, your posture, okay? Stand up straight, walking again, smiling, little smile, not grin. Say hello to the examiner, be polite. When they say hello back. When they ask you, how are you? Say, I'm very well, thank you, how are you? Use your pleases, your thank yous. What you don't want to do, and forgive me for those of you who are teenagers, but you don't want to go into full grunt mode. Ah, hello, you must be Stephen. Hi Stephen, how are you? Oh, fine. You're here to do your grade 4 clarinet, aren't you? Yeah. At this point, the examiners are going, oh god, this is going to be a tough one. But fine, we'll work through it. They are professionals after all. Should it matter how well you do in your grade? Probably not. But does it cost you anything? No. So just be a nice human being about it. Polite. Say thank you. Say, thank you for asking, or yes, I'm very well, thank you. How are you? Can I put my things over here? Can I, anything, just be polite about it, okay? The other thing about making a good impression is how you look. So that's what I'm saying, your posture, make sure you're walking nice and confidently, little smile and what have you. The other thing is, consider what you are wearing. Make sure it's appropriate. And I realize this might be a little bit controversial. Some people will think this is completely off limits. I'm not here to say what you should do. I'm just going to give you a few things to bear in mind. Personally, I like to dress quite smartly. To me, an exam is almost like an interview. You are interviewing for grade 4 piano or what have you. You are there to get that job, that qualification. You're there, so therefore you want to show that you are taking it seriously. That's just me. I feel comfortable like that. Some people say I don't feel comfortable with a shirt on and a tie. You obviously don't go dressed as a tuxedo or a ball gown either. That would just be completely over the top. But I would approach it like you would an interview. But some people would say, okay, well I feel more comfortable in jeans than a t-shirt. Okay, fine, go in jeans and a t-shirt as long as there's that Megadeth on the front of it. Again, should it really matter? No. But I will ask you to bear a couple of things in mind. I'll give you a few examples. Now, I remember getting some feedback after an audition from somebody, and he said to me, look, Mike, I don't care whether someone comes dressed like you in a suit, shirt and tie, or whether they come in jeans and t-shirt. It doesn't matter. To me, all that matters is how they play. That's one point of view. Somebody else once told me, as soon as somebody walks in the door, if their shoes are not shined and the top button is not done up on their shirt, they don't get the job. I realise that was a corporate setting, but I'm just saying, those are very contrasting viewpoints that are out there. Where is the examiner going to sit? As always with these things, it's probably somewhere in the middle. Hopefully they'll be more, a bit more open. It shouldn't really matter what you're wearing, but who knows? It's actually summer now, and Wimbledon is now in full swing. And what does everyone wear when they play in Wimbledon? They all wear white. Why? It's tradition. That's the way it is. Do all the other major tennis tournaments have that rule? No. You can wear whatever colour you want. So you could argue, is Wimbledon just behind the times, or are they just traditional? I'm not here to judge. I'm not here to tell you what you need to do, but I'm just asking you to bear those things in mind, okay? You want to make a good impression. Those are the things that I would take into consideration. You don't have to, as I said, a million more ways and all that, okay? Okay, so we've made the first impression. Come in, we smile, we put our things down. Now, the next bit of advice is take your time. And what do I mean by take your time, okay? Exactly that. Find time in everything that you do. You know, you go over there, you put your music on the stand, just adjust the music a little, adjust the stand a little bit, maybe a little bit there, a little bit there. Then what I would normally do is, you know, if it was the bassoon, I would obviously we would tune up again. I'd always, and this is the thing when you do when you have a woodwind instrument, always pretend that you're doing just a slight change here or there. You know, adjust this there or just there. Blow all the holes out, make sure there's no water in them. Basically, giving yourself as much time as you can get. So you get yourself comfortable, get yourself relaxed. Obviously, don't take 15 minutes about it because I think they might leave. But you know, just do half a minute or so, a minute tops, and it really makes a big difference to your, you know, the way you feel, your physiology. So that would be, you know, really important. It certainly helped me an awful lot in all my auditions and examinations in the past. Okay, so the next thing is you have the examiner is going to ask you, if it's piano, would you like to do your scales or your pieces first? If you're doing a piano recital, always scales. Gets you a chance to know the piano. As I said before in other videos, scales are an easy part of the exam. If you can play scales, you're fine. You're going to be okay. So I would do that just to get used to the instrument, get used to the feel of it. Obviously, you can't do that with if you're doing another instrument like woodwind or what have you. But that doesn't matter too much. But at least with the piano, make sure you use scales first. So anyway, you're there, you're ready. So the examiner's asked you what piece you can play. Yes, I would like to play this piece, I'd like to play that piece, and I'm going to finish off with that piece. Oh, fantastic, thank you very much. You can say, okay, you may start when ready. Prepare to play. Prepare to play. Okay, and how are you going to prepare to play? This is something you're going to need to think about before, and this comes with experience, and that's why I say to you, do mock exams. Practice your exam to as many people as you can, to your parents every weekend or something if they're not sick of hearing it. But prepare to play. And what do you do to prepare to play? It could be anything. You could just sing a little bit of somewhere in the piece that gets you the right speed. Fantastic. That gives you... Okay, I'm ready now. Do you see what I mean? Or it could be a certain imagery in your head. The certain pieces I've played in the past have been, for instance, quite slow, quite melancholy. And I think about a character from a story or something which really, to me, epitomizes that particular piece. And that's helped me to play and to get in the right frame of mind for that piece as well. So whatever it is you need to do, visualize something, sing something through in your head, but just, you know, take a second before you play, take a couple of deep breaths, and then start when you are ready. Remember, take your time. So you finish your first piece, what do you do? Go straight to the second one. Now, again, I'm going to say it again, take your time. Again, if you're going from a fast piece to a slow piece, probably you got a little bit more time. If you go from a slow to a fast, you can normally get away with transitioning into that one a bit quicker. But in any case, make sure you take your time. Don't start until you're ready and you're happy with the first little bit, you know, so you can go for it. Okay, and so last thing is you finish your pieces, examine your accompanist is left, you've done your scales, sight reading, and oral tests. So what do you do now? You get ready to prepare to run out the door. It probably is what you're thinking, isn't it? No. Prepare to thank the examiner. Okay, so the examiner says to you, okay, that's it. That's it at the end of the examination. Thank you so much for coming. What do you say? You say, thank you. Goodbye. Have a good day. Whatever. Just say something, right? Nice, polite. Ends the whole thing off nicely. You want to leave them thinking, that was a nice young girl, boy, man, woman, what have you, okay? So just leave a nice impression when you leave. So you made a good impression coming in, you will make a good impression going out as well, okay? Don't start grunting on your way out. Okay, and that is it for today. We've just got time for our top tips, and I'm going to give you 2 today like I gave in the last one. I'm giving away all my top tips here at the moment. So the first one is actually come a frame of mind, okay? For me, remember when you go into the exam, you are the boss. You are paying for the examiner. You are paying their bill. You are their boss. So there's absolutely no reason to be intimidated by them. They're normally very nice people. They normally are human beings. In fact, I think they all are human beings, yes. I haven't come across any monsters or dragons just yet. No. So look, they're not there to trip you up. They're not there to catch you out. They want to give good marks. They like it when they see someone come in and to give them good marks. Okay, so I'm trying to get you to, without even playing a note, give yourself the best chance. Okay, so put yourself in that frame of mind. You are paying them. You are their boss. And then the second top tip is have a reward ready for when you've finished. Okay, and that could be anything. Okay, that might be, you might go for dinner, have a certain dish for dinner that you really like to eat. It could be your favorite chocolate bar, candy bar for our friends on the other side of Atlantic. You know, anything which is something to look forward to. So something you can actually think about when you're in the exam, just between pieces. So you might be ready to start to play and think, I'm going to have sushi for dinner. I'm looking forward to that. See what I mean? Gets you in a good frame of mind. Maybe even a little smile there. That'd be nice. Okay, so that's it for today. So I hope that has been useful. So if you haven't checked out the first video, make sure you do, because there's a two-parter. So getting to the door and after the door. All that's left to say is thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe, leave me a comment, all the rest of it, and I hope to see you next time. Bye for now.